Whenever you're ready.
Oh my God.
Jessica! I've never been called a fox!
Dana.
That's a classy name for a Harry.
I like it classic.
Okay.
Do you?
Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast.
Sure.
Out with the bad and in with the good, motherfuckers.
That's right.
Jessica!
Dana.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Welcome to the Rants and Raves podcast. I am Dana Powell.
I am Jessica Young.
And we are here to rant and rave. Am I going to do that every week now?
Yes.
I love it. Before we get into anything, because I think we realized we get off the rails.
Sometimes. All the time.
We should tell people, I'm going to have Jessica tell you how to get a hold of us. Jessica, how can someone get a hold of us?
A multitude of ways. You can start by following us on Instagram and Facebook. Only takes a second. And then you can have little daily anecdotes of fun things, funny things, things that make us annoyed, and things that we love and that we are trying to spread the word about. Good news, things to make us feel good in times of turmoil. At the Rants and Raves podcast, that is how you can find us on Instagram and Facebook. Twitter at raves_the Rants and Raves podcast.com. That is our website. And also the Rants and Raves podcast at gmail.com. You can send us direct emails through there.
Yeah, you can send us messages. You can make comments. You can agree with us. I guess you could disagree with us.
Give a corrections corner. Please
rate, review, subscribe. We'd love to get 5 stars.
Sure.
I mean, it would be nice. Who wouldn't? Also, just share us with your friends, guys. We're trying to grow. We really want to spread the good word.
Yes.
Get out with the bad and in with the good. And we've seen a lot of people. It's really, some of our stories are making a difference. And it's helping people. And that's always really, really lovely.
Totally.
But still, we'd like 5 stars.
I also love when people are either catching up on older episodes or something that we've talked about. And then, you know how that happens, like something you may have never thought about.
It just mentioned something.
Then once it's said, you start to see it everywhere.
Yes.
So thank you to the listeners who weeks later are sending in that you saw a Shenyun poster or something that we talked about in a recent episode and you found the playlist for it and all that. We love it.
It makes us laugh so hard.
We really do. And we love to share it when appropriate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When appropriate. That tells you some of the stuff we get. Jessica, how was your week?
Well, I don't want to make you sad or jealous when I tell you what I did last week. So it was very last minute.
What?
I went back to the opera.
Without me?
You're going to go in the new season.
You went and saw Placido Domingo again?
No. He only does one show a year. I saw La Traviata.
That's one of my favorite operas.
Okay, well, then I have a little treat for you.
What?
La Traviata and most operas, which I know some people might think, I don't like opera or I don't know anything from that. I bet you do.
Stop dancing like that. Jessica, I just made a video of you. You're the worst conductor. You made the orchestra stop and the singer stop before the song was over.
I gave a heart out. And they were not done.
They were not done. I am so jealous.
Okay, so I love that you know that show. I was not familiar with it at all.
Yeah, because I dated that opera singer. It was one of his favorites.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah, how the heck did I forget
La
that
Traviata, La Boheme.
Yes.
Also a great one.
So that is coming in the new season.
Deflator Mouse.
And we'll definitely go to see that.
Oh, La Boheme is?
Yes,
beautiful.
And people are talking. I mean, that tends to be a favorite in general, but everyone's like, if you have not ever seen that of any opera, please please go see it.
Yeah, wonderful.
And I'll tell you, I think I said this before, but I know somebody might think, oh, going to the opera so much. Opera tickets, at least in Los Angeles, and our opera is a nonprofit, you can see the opera for as low as $25 a
Is
ticket.
that true?
Yes.
Wow.
And this time we sat up in one of the balconies, and I thought, oh, we're in the balcony. Last time we sat in the orchestra level. Let me tell you something. I'll take the balcony any day.
You can see everything.
I thought I could see it better, and the sound was incredible up there.
Really?
But this was...
music rises like heat?
Yes. I really thought the acoustics were better up there, but I think you'll appreciate this because I think you like this time period. They, a lot of the times with the operas, they'll set it in different environments, right?
Oh.
Just like when people update Shakespeare.
I've never been.
You know how they don't change the story, but they set it in different places, modern version of Romeo and Juliet, whatever. Mm-hmm. La Traviata was set in the Gatsby era. So the costumes were insane.
Oh, I bet it was gorgeous.
The set was beyond. They pulled like a vintage Rolls Royce, a real one, across the stage in the Act 1. Act 2, it was set in a forest, and every so often they had leaves falling from the ceiling.
Oh my gosh.
And then the final act, I'm sorry, spoiler alert, she's dying and it snows. She's laying on a bed.
Did you cry?
Yeah, it was absolutely spectacular.
Wow.
And if, some people are like, I'm not really that into opera. I'm like, please just go. Just go. The stories are amazing. Yeah. You will be entertained, and it's a fantasy. You lose yourself.
Yeah.
And I think we all need to do it, whether it's a movie, a play, a musical. Mm-hmm. Look
Jessica,
in your local areas.
Who did you go with?
My husband.
Really?
Yes.
Did he love it?
He did love it.
Oh.
This was his favorite for sure.
Oh, well.
And the lead woman, she's like young and she's like a really up and coming opera star. She's from Romania. Her voice was beyond, and she was like so statuesque. We saw her afterwards. Like sometimes the cast will go to the place downstairs, and I was trying not to stare, but it was hard to not take my eyes off her.
Wow.
It really unbelievable.
That's really awesome.
Yeah. I promise you we will go in the new season of LA Opera is incredible that's coming up.
Huh. You're so nervous you're arranging things on your microphone because I'm just giving you the Dana glare.
Because I've never gone to an opera live, and now here I've been able to go 3 times in a short amount of time, all by fluke, all through a place that I work.
Magical. You know what I did?
What?
I spent 3 days at a water park.
No.
We'll get into it. You
deserve a medal for that.
It plays a larger part in my rant today.
Oh boy.
Do you know that a listener already requested, I posted about it on Instagram,
and they want to hear you talk about it.
And someone was already like, oh, I can't wait to hear this. Yeah. We'll just leave it at that.
All right.
Maybe we should just go ahead and jump into our rant.
Let's do it. Why don't you start first with your rant?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a good segue.
Well, I would like to talk about pool and hotel etiquette.
Oh, yeah.
So I took my son to the Great Wolf Lodge. Mm-hmm. Now, there are several of them across the United States.
Okay.
This one happens to be in Anaheim, California. So a few different things. I thought I would never see anybody I knew there. Mm-hmm. I was wrong. We made eye contact in the pool for literally a millisecond before fear ran across our faces and we swam in opposite directions. No makeup, in a swimming suit. I didn't wear my lady cardigan that I make for myself because when I got there, I looked around and I was like, oh, we're all just doing our best. First of all, it is really amazing. It's basically an airplane hangar with with a giant wave pool. It's got 5 or 6 slides that actually go outside the building, but they're all enclosed. I mean, it's insane. There's a big play area where water, my son's favorite thing. He likes to be the one that the kids shoot at with the water guns. And
really?
He thinks it's hilarious. And he wants me to stand with him. Now, as an adult, I am the primary target.
Right.
Literally, Chinese water torture is a real thing at a place like that because these children just found the back of my head and just left the gun there. And I finally had to be like, I have to go, Henry. We have to go.
How strong is the stream coming out of the
strong
water
enough
guns?
that you have to push your head back against it.
Oh.
It doesn't hurt per se for the first 30 seconds.
You're a good
It hits
sport.
you in the back, straight in the back. Yeah, it's smarts. It's smarts. He thinks it's hilarious. So I have a problem with injustice. So there was a kid in the pool bullying his cousin, and he was pulling him underwater, like drowning him.
Not funny.
And then he would come up and say, I can't breathe, stop it. And he'd pull him under again, and then he'd go, you loser. I finally couldn't take it anymore. I walked over to the kid and I go, hey, don't do that. And I said to the other kid, who is this to you? And he goes, it's my cousin. And I go, don't you do that anymore. It's not nice. And I was giving him the scowl, and he was scowling right back, right? He didn't stop. So I went over and I said, I told you not to do this anymore.
Oh.
You know me.
Yeah, I love it.
And I said to the little kid, I said, where's your mama? I'm going to go tell. And he goes, thank you. My mama's not here. I'm with my Aunt Heather. I'll take you to her. I go, yep. Come on, Henry. Let's go. I march over there. I said, hi, Heather. My name is Dana. I'm really sorry to bother you. His mom. They're camped out. You can tell they're regulars, right? Got their table when the place first opened up. Her and her mom reading books. Couldn't care less what the kids are doing, right? Which is fine. Except your kid's a jerk. So I said, your son has been trying to drown his cousin. He can't breathe. He keeps calling him a loser. I asked him to stop. He gave me a dirty look several times and wouldn't listen to me. And I said, it's dangerous. And at this point, it's upsetting me and my child. And she was very polite and was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So we all go walking back to the wave pool. She accidentally passes him up. She's like scanning, looking for him, right? I see him. He sees his mom walk by. He looks at me like with fear in his eyes. And I go, I told you to stop. And I said, if you didn't, I would get your mom. Heather.
Oh my God, yes.
I go,
how scared was he?
He was terrified, but he's still giving me a hateful look and like going, me, when I talk, right? And so she starts walking that way and I go, I'm going to be watching you.
Oh my God, Dana.
And I walked away. She made that kid sit at that table at least 45 minutes. His hair was down to the middle of his back. It was dry before he got to go back in the pool. And so then the second incident I had, this is why my husband doesn't go out in public with me. So there were teenagers there, and I've just decided I think I don't like teenagers.
Yeah.
A lot of them, they're just hateful, right? A lot of them are really, really wonderful, but I had to run in with one. So there was a group. This is a story about my son. This shows you he's my child. He said out loud in a pool, hey, stop splashing. What's the big idea?
I love it so much.
Like he's an adult character from Tom and Jerry.
Yes.
What's the big idea? What's the matter with this crazy cat?
I love that he
we
said
were in
that.
the ball pool, he called it, because they have another separate pool that has like basketball hoops and a log you can sit on and stuff. And there was a teenager there. And also another reason I don't like teenagers at children's facilities is because they want to rub their bodies on each other. And so there was a teenage girl there just scowling and splashing, like swinging her arm all the way back like a paddle.
Right.
And angry face. Splashing her sister, and her boyfriend actually went, what are you doing? Stop it. Like they were all annoyed, right? She flipped him off in front of my child. I have never Powell scowled so powerfully that it attracted her gaze to me. And I scowled harder. Okay. I can't believe my face didn't freeze. I was scowling so hard. And I go, really? And then I didn't stop staring at her till she got out of the pool. I just wanted her to leave.
The shame stare.
The shame. Yeah. And if you're splashing, I get it's a pool, but like be considerate of children around you, because what's the big idea?
It's really not okay to do that when you're in a public pool, right? Like if you're at somebody's private pool and you guys are playing around or playing Marco Polo, go to town. I mean,
kids want to splash. I get it. But it can get to be a lot when there's a lot of people there.
And the younger kids want to be around the teenagers sometimes.
They want to do
cool.
it. A group of teenage girls, for some reason, started going, oh.
Nope.
There were like 6 of them. And it started, children want to be like them. They started doing it. And it started reverberating so hard my head was rattling.
That would have put me over the edge.
And the lifeguards were looking around like nobody understood what was going on. This is the power of teen girls. And my kid just about had a meltdown. He said, make it stop, make them be quiet, because it was just too
so
much.
loud, yeah.
It's already a very loud place.
Yes.
But then when you've got, no. And hundreds of people then.
I don't need anyone making animal noises. It really bugs me. It's a big pet peeve.
Really leads me into my next part of my rant. The reason it's called also hotel etiquette. We were in a king size room, which meant it was attached to a suite. Okay, so we shared a door with the people next to us, and it was closed, whatever. But they were so loud. I could hear every word they said.
Gross.
And it was 11:30 at night. They were watching a murder movie, and F-bombs every other second.
Nice.
And barking. Ruff, 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 ruff. I don't know why.
They were barking.
They were barking. The humans.
Okay.
I also know that he thought that his girlfriend or wife only packed him one pair of underwear, but she packed him a handful.
Oh.
I know that the guy yesterday that was talking about VR made him so effing mad. He wanted to effing walk up to him on the street and bam, 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 effing, bam, 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 effing beat the living S-H-I-T. My son can hear all of this.
No.
I also know that something in their room stinks, and she thinks it's her stinky, sweaty butt.
Okay.
Okay, so I messaged the hotel desk, and I'm like, the next morning, and because it went on till about 1:30 in the morning, and Henry kept going, is somebody hurt? Is everything okay? Like, it was like they were in our room, you know? So I told the hotel, they were like, we're going to call and ask them, you can move if you want. I don't want to move. I've just unpacked everything. So she calls me back. She's like, I just called your suite mate. And I said, oh, I know. And she goes, oh. And I said, not because I heard the phone ring, but I'm assuming as soon as you got off the phone with him, that's why he went, that's so effing rude. This is a place for effing children. I'll bang on the effing wall if I want to. She goes, oh my, he seemed so nice on the phone. I go, oh, I'm sure. She said, he didn't take responsibility. He said, I can't imagine where that noise is coming from. We'll be on the lookout. I was like, Well, he was real mad when he got off the phone with you. I knocked on the door.
You should have recorded it.
I should have. I knocked on the door at one point, and it was so loud in the room they didn't even hear me. No. And I even put my mouth up against near the door and went, I can hear every word you say. But they didn't hear me.
Through gritted teeth and muffled breath.
I was so angry. I spent so much money to listen to this woman talk about her stinky, sweaty butt.
No, it's obnoxious.
And they had children in their room too. Like, I'm not perfect. I let words slip in front of my kid, but I also say, don't say that word. It's not appropriate to talk like that in public. Mommy shouldn't be doing that. Right. I don't know if that makes it any better.
No, totally. You also don't watch
around other children and
violent movies with your kid that are blasting, and there's just stuff that's not appropriate for a kid.
Yeah. So I scolded a family, a teenager, and a small child. I'm fun. Clearly my kids just like me. I told him, sincerely, I had this conversation with my young child. The next time we take a vacation, I'm taking you to Cozumel. It's quiet. It's peaceful. We can float in the ocean. Nobody splashes. And they'll bring mommy drinks to the pool.
We're going to lock ourselves in the cabana. And nobody can get to us.
Nobody can even look at us. And I won't be able to scowl at people.
Was it bad the second night? Like, was this both nights?
When they came in the second night, they slammed the door so hard I was sound asleep, and it woke me up. I thought it was a gunshot.
Jeez.
But then they were silent. So they wanted to let me know they were home and they were mad, but they were going to be quiet, which I was fine with. It's fine.
Oh my God. Did you go down any of the water slides?
Yes.
Was it fun?
Yeah, my kid is so brave. I was like, I got to put on a good face. A little bit. I've got tinglies in my tummy. But we went down in this big, it fits up to 6 people.
Oh, wow.
And you go down and then it goes outside the building and up these hills and around the sides and you slosh everywhere.
What?
And it was.
Are you like in a raft or something?
Yeah. It's
That
really
sounds
cool.
fun.
They have a whole bunch of different slides. It's really neat. I would definitely say 2 days is all you can probably handle. It's probably. But they have tons of stuff for the kids, like a Magic Quest thing where you get like a Harry Potter wand, but it's all over the hotel. There are different stations and you collect things and things move.
Oh, that's fun.
They have a dance party every night. You can go downstairs in your pajamas for story time. It really
That's
is
cute.
Legitimately fantastic. I would have been better with my husband as a partner or a friend.
Right.
Now, here's where I become a bad parent. I bought a souvenir cup for $14.99 because I thought you got free refills.
Jerks.
You don't get free refills. I was like, why'd I buy this stupid cup for $14.90? You get it the time that you're there, but not like the whole time you're staying, just when you're eating. So I was like, what the heck am I going to do with this stupid cup?
Seriously.
I got enough cups at my house. And it's all plastic. I'm trying to be better. Anyway.
Also, what you're supposed to get a new cup every time you have a drink and then pour that into your souvenir cup and then now toss yet another cup in the trash.
Right. Thank you, Jessica, for being on my side. But I did get a little easier when I realized on my last day there that cup fits an entire bottle of wine.
Okay.
So I had a little poolside sipper if I needed it.
That's great.
It really took the edge off. I would say probably 3 people got less Powell scowls because of my little sippy.
Yes. Did your son enjoy it?
He did. He had a blast.
Okay,
and
that's good.
He's so great that the final day we were there, the park is open till 8:30. And even though you check out, you can stay in the water park the whole day.
Oh, wow.
And at 1:30, he said, I'm done. And I was like, what? He goes, I'm done. I said, are you ready to go home? He goes, yeah, I want to see Lucy, which is our doggy. So we just packed up and left. It was perfect. I was so excited. I bought him ice cream and a cupcake. Yeah.
Seriously, he saved you 7 hours.
Of just, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
It is fun. We did have a good time, but I wouldn't want to do it alone.
It wasn't a relaxing.
It was definitely not relaxing. Yeah. I'd rather go to Laguna. Yeah.
You're going to make me feel bad about
Jessica
else.
also went to Laguna. She knows it's one of my favorite places. It's fine. She went with her family. I wasn't invited. It's okay. I'm totally kidding. But you had a wonderful experience at your hotel.
I did.
Yeah.
It's a little inn that's on Laguna Beach that overlooks the main beach. And if you just want to go somewhere and literally do nothing but stare at the ocean, and I'm saying that in the best possible way because I could do that for 24 hours and be more than happy about it. Not all the rooms have an ocean view. We were lucky enough to have an ocean view room, and it's spectacular. And we slept with the doors open. You can hear the waves crashing up all night.
Did anybody have a stinky butt?
No. It's so nice. And also the hotel staff is so nice there.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's
That's
just
awesome.
Quiet, lovely. You really don't have to leave. There's an amazing restaurant next door, and the beach is out down the stairs.
Was it really relaxing?
Yeah.
I'm just teasing you.
They give you binoculars in the room.
What?
I showed you a picture of my dad with his binocs.
I love it.
It's really cool.
Well, I'm just going to say, if you're at a pool, don't splash an angry older woman in the face.
No.
She'll give you the stink eye. And if you're in a hotel, don't talk so loud I can hear everything you say.
No, it's the worst.
I'll never get a shared door like that again. The staff and everybody, they were really wonderful. They got back to me immediately. Like, it was really great. I'm acting like I had the worst time ever. I did not at all by any means. But it is exhausting because I realized too, my kid's really brave and he wants to be in the deep water all the time, which is fine because he wears a life jacket. I was treading water for 72 hours.
Exactly.
And I'm not a fit woman.
Stop it.
My body ached like you wouldn't believe. I had to take ibuprofen.
For real?
Yes. You tread water for 72 hours. And then on top of it, they have a buffet you go to. And so what is it about buffets where you're like, if I'm going to pay $20 for this, I need to get my foods worth.
I'm going to try a little bit of everything.
And then what I really like, I'll go back for a second. And then I need a wheelbarrow to get me back to my room. I would have sunk like a lead rock, and here I am treading water.
And the best part is your child probably would have been happy with just like ice cream or a piece of pizza.
Oh, he told me one night he didn't want to go there. He said he just wanted goldfish.
Amazing.
And I said, Mommy already paid for it. We're going. You can bring your goldfish with you.
I wish all I needed were some goldfish to satiate me.
Too.
So cute.
Me too. And then we were on the last day we had to check out, and so I brought this bag with our towels and our change of clothes and everything, and it had my leftover stuff from the fridge. So I had a lean cuisine pizza snackers. My kid doesn't know that they're lean cuisines, but he loves them.
Brilliant.
And then a diet shake, like a protein shake, like a Slim Fast shake for cravings, right? So when I go into the pool, the guy goes, I'm going to have to check your bag. And I go, oh, sure, no problem. I just got some snacks and towels in there. And he goes, these are not the kind of snacks you're supposed to bring in. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah. I was like, well, I see people have like sandwiches and chips and cookies and candy. He goes, yeah, that's okay. I'm like, these are diet foods. They're not allowed at the pool. Like, am I ruining somebody? I didn't say that to him because he was so nice. He was like, it's fine. Just don't eat them here. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to break out my diet food at the pool. It just happened to be in the bag.
Don't eat them here.
You can eat cookies and candy. But
is it because they were microwavable? And
yeah.
Well, then he should have just said, just so you know, we don't have a microwave.
No, he just said they're not allowed.
I can't.
But I
also, it's not anything illegal. Why he felt the need to comment on it is beyond me.
Oh boy, what's that leading us into, Jessica?
Well, I'm very annoyed at you telling me that, and that kind of does preface to my rant. I almost said my rave. It is not a rave. I can't stand when people comment on what you are buying or purchasing in the store when like the transaction's happening. It's one thing if you're a salesperson and somebody asks for your help or your opinion, or I want to get this. What's something good that goes with it? I can't stand when I'm checking out. I don't care if it's at the grocery store, at a regular store. And the first thing that annoys me is people go, where did you get this? It's like, your store. You work here. And I'm amazed at how many times people are not aware of items that we're not talking about a Home Depot that has 10 million SKUs.
Right.
You didn't know that you have a lilac candle? Okay, got it. But the commenting on it, and sometimes people say too much or they ask you questions. It's not your business.
Yeah.
You don't need to know how, why, who, whatever. And this guy does it a lot at that market where I told you that one of the guys thinks he's so funny every time. If I'm buying something that's $1.50, $1,500. He says it every time. It's been years. I have my hand in a fist right now. But a guy that's been working there for a while now, who I can't explain to you all of the little things he's done to annoy me, but this really I actually thought was creepy. I ran in there to buy a deodorant the other day just because I didn't feel like going to the drugstore, and they have like some staples, right?
Sure.
I hand it to him, he scans it, and then he pulls the top off and goes,
Jessica!
Like took a real deep inhale. And
Jessica,
I looked like I'm looking right now with such horror on my face because I didn't understand why.
That's going in your pits.
Yeah, he saw me. Then he looks, he goes, oh, I'm just making sure it's okay.
What?
Okay for what? Oh, making sure that you approve the scent of deodorant that I just purchased?
It's not rotten?
I can't. Do you not find that really creepy?
It's super weird.
If you want to go see what deodorant you're smelling and smell it when people aren't in there, you go be that freak in your own time. It was kind of violated. I know that sounds so dramatic.
No, it does feel weird.
It
like
felt
you're going to put that on your body.
Creepy and gross. And why did you feel the need to smell it? And again, he said, I'm making sure it's okay.
No.
He also had a really choice thing that he said the other day. So I don't remember what led to this, but he was saying something, and I try sometimes to just realize this is not the arena. This is not the time or the place to say it. Shut up, Jessica. But he said something, and it wasn't anti-Semitic, but he said something that made me feel the need. And I've never just announced things about myself. And I said, just so you know, I'm Jewish.
Oh, God.
And I saw he kind of seemed shocked almost and was taken aback. And then he just kind of changed the subject. I don't know. So I walk in the other day and he sees me and he goes, Shalom.
No.
Shalom. Blah, da, 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 da.
What?
See, I can speak Jewish too.
Oh, Jessica.
So again, I'm like, eyes are bugging out of my head, and there's a new kid. He's not a kid, but like in his early 20s working there, and I see him turn around with a look of horror on his face, and he says to the guy who's much older than him, what did you just say? And he's like, what? He's like, I'm speaking Jewish. He goes, okay, there's so many things wrong with this. He goes, first of all, pretty sure it's called Hebrew. Is that right? He says to me, and I'm like, yep.
Oh, you're pulled into this now.
And that is about as good as you telling me that I speak good Mexican.
Wow.
And I loved it. Like, I didn't wink at him, but I kind of gave him like a nod, like, thank you. Wow. But I thought it was creepy. Like, just stop with the comments. And
it's him trying to connect in such an awkward way.
He is, but
it's not good.
I don't need you smelling my deodorant.
See, I feel like you and I have an opposite problem. I feel like clerks are afraid of me in that I get awkward. So like, I'm one of those people, I will avoid a young man when I'm buying bras, panties, or tampons.
Yeah.
One time, Dan Tipton and I were dating, and I had taught a class of high school students.
Right.
And they had come to the university for this special event, whatever. Well, that night we went to Walmart because that was the only store we had in the town. And I was buying tampons, and I saw two of the kids from my class, and they waved at me. They were so excited. They were like, oh, hey. And I waved back. I was like, hey, guys. And I noticed they were like, oh, and kind of turned away. And I was like, oh, I thought they were going to come say hi. And Dan goes, maybe they stopped because you waved at them with a tampon box.
Oh.
I literally had the box of tampons in my hand and waved the tampons.
No.
Yes. Or I've lied before when I'm buying like a bra or panties or something, and I'll go, these are for my aunt. Why? Why? I don't want him to envision them on my body.
Oh.
He's not. This is my own issue.
That is funny, though. I will, depending on what I'm buying, certain times I will look for what cashier I want to ring.
Yeah, that's weird, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I make clerks uncomfortable because I'm uncomfortable.
Oh
or
my gosh.
If they're unpleasant to me, I also have a habit of going, I'm sorry, did I just ruin your day? I'm the worst person.
No.
It's not constant. These are just a few times a year. I really shouldn't be out in public.
That is not true. But one of these days, I can't wait until something happens when we're together at the same time.
No, you're going to be like, I'm never going out with you again, Dana. And I'll go, really? Okay, I speak good Jewish. Can you imagine? Can you even fathom?
It's so out of control.
Man?
He's older, and I know he's, but it's like, I get annoyed too when people don't listen. It's like, dude, don't ask me every time you see me the same question. How's your new job? It's great. You've now asked me for 6 months.
This is not a slam on you either. I feel like your face definitely says to him, I don't want you talking to me. Like he's not reading the signs.
Resting bitch face.
He's not reading the signs you're giving off.
Oh my God.
I have over at the convenience store by my house. I try not to go into convenience stores much because it adds up.
Yeah.
I'd rather grocery shop or whatever. But sometimes you have to. And he said to me, how come you don't come in here very often? I know you live around here. I'm like, what?
Creepy.
You don't know that. You don't know where I live. I didn't say that, but I wanted to. Because there's other people listening too. I'm like, great, now these 6 guys know where I live around here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You have a little more tact.
Don't get in my personal business.
No, and don't talk about what I'm purchasing.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't like it.
I don't blame you, Jessica. I'm upset for you. Should we move into, we need to do a cleansing breath.
Sure, let's.
I definitely need it. I obviously facially attacked several people this week. But there's a lot going on in my life. That's not an excuse. I'm just defending myself. Let's do a cleansing breath before I just dig my hole deeper. Okay, if you're alone, feel free to scream it out. If you're in your car, if you're in a grocery store, do whatever you want. I don't care. I don't know why I feel like I have to give disclaimers. Okay, ready? In and out. Didn't that feel good?
Yes.
How creepy can I make it?
Very.
And out. Didn't that feel nice?
I don't like that at all.
I took away everyone's relaxation. And now my spit cover's wet. Should I cut that out?
Oh my God.
Listen, we're just being real. Okay. Jess, I think you're first on corners. I'm excited. I don't know what this is. You said you were saving it.
Oh my God. So this is sort of a blending of accent corner and Mr. Young corner.
I love Mr. Young corner.
So my dad loves talking to strangers.
So does mine, yeah.
I maybe more than people he knows, if you want me to be quite frank. But my dad truly is interested in engaging with anyone that he
That's sweet.
encounters. It could be just someone sitting on a bench minding their own business. It could be a server at a restaurant. It could be an employee at a store.
That's friendly.
So my brother Adam and I are always kind of rolling our eyes when we're with my dad because we're like, stop it. Because we're trying to explain to him, number one, you need to let people go about their job. Like,
oh, right.
You can't keep them at the table now for 10 minutes asking them, oh, you're from where? Where'd you go to high school? And all that.
They're working.
Yes.
Yeah, I get
my brother's always like, Mark, he's working.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or she's working, whatever. So my dad loves to do that and keep people for much longer than is necessary or should be.
He's connecting.
Mm-hmm. But also, and I realized, God, maybe part of why this irks me so much is I have a bad tendency to do this. My dad will, if he finds out someone's from a certain country or a certain company or what they do for work, whatever, any commonality or anything he can think of, doesn't matter how stereotypical it is. My dad's not offensive, but this, I was like, oh God, please stop. So we were on the terrace of our hotel. We were having a drink like before dinner, sitting outside. There's nobody up there except for another couple. And so I'm like, come on, I want to get a picture of the four of us. It was my dad and my stepmom and my husband and I. And my dad's like, no, we don't need a picture. And there's no one. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to ask this couple right here. He goes, no, don't. My dad gets really embarrassed by that stuff. I'm like, nope, too late. I'm asking him. I'm like, excuse me, sir. I'm like, would you mind taking our picture? He's like, not at all. Now I just did a horrible imitation of his Aussie accent.
You just did what I feel like you're about to slam your dad for.
Well, my dad didn't use the accent.
Oh, okay.
It's just funny. The accent corner comes from the fact that they just happen to be Australian, right?
Okay.
So my dad says, oh, wow, you guys are from Australia. And the guy's like, yes. And my dad said, oh, where are you? And he said, we're near Perth. And he's talking about it, whatever. So what does my dad proceed to do? He says, oh, yeah, how's Crocodile Dundee doing? How's Hulk Hogan doing these days?
Hulk Hogan!
You heard me. You heard it. You heard it here first. He asked an Australian about a fictional character from 30 years ago. Got his name wrong. We all know my feelings about Paul Hogan. Hulk Hogan is a professional wrestler. And the guy was like a good sport and like kind of chuckled. He goes, oh, fine, I guess. And my dad just won't stop. He's like, she loves that movie. And like starts telling him how much I love Crocodile Dundee. I'm turning purple. I'm like, okay, cool. Moving on. I'm like, you know what? I've always dreamed of going to, I'm trying to change the conversation.
Right. You're trying to fix it.
I'm like, I wanted to study at the Great Barrier Reef when I was young. I wanted to be a marine biologist and all that. Dad can't stop. And what about that other crocodile guy? How's he? Well, he's dead. How are his kids doing?
No. Deeper one.
He was talking about the crocodile hunter.
Oh, no.
I mean,
I'm pulling my cheeks off my face.
Alan and my stepmother were literally like cartoons. They were kind of slowly slinking away, mortified. And my dad could not stop to the point where I had to put hands on his shoulders and turn him around and say, Dad, we have to go to dinner now. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. As I'm turning my dad away, I'm sorry.
Your dad, he's not senile. You don't have to apologize for him right in front of him.
The people said they were from Australia and all he could ask them about were two characters dealing with crocodiles, one real, one fictional. I was so offended. I'm like,
you were offended. You're not Australian.
But it's so rude. Like, I don't know. There were so many other things. Or you could have just been like, oh, that's nice. Enjoy your stay here. Nope. Gonna go straight for the jugular.
He wanted to have a connection.
I know. How is Hulk Hogan doing? Like, I can't.
You know what is so funny about that, though? Like, it makes me laugh, and I'm like, oh, that's funny, because it's not my dad. That's the thing. Our family members get under our skin so much faster than they would anyone else.
Yes.
Like, when my mom or somebody does something, and I'm like, oh, can you believe it? People are like, what's the big deal? But to me, it felt like so embarrassing or so infuriating, so annoying. Our family or when I hear other people, like you're talking about your dad, I'm like, I think that's cute. And you're like, you talked through gritted teeth so hard, I thought your teeth were going to break.
The thing is, too, like, it's just my dad is so friendly. Like, he really is trying to connect. He's not an obnoxious man. He doesn't, nothing with malice. It's nothing like that. But I'm like, the cluelessness where I'm like, do you not understand? Like, there's so many different examples I could give, whether it's because of your religion, what state you're from, what country you're from, what you do for a living. Like, just stop. Come up with something else to talk to them about.
Or how about this? Thanks for taking the picture. Have a wonderful trip.
Yes. But I will say this. I realized too, I'm like, God, I kind of do that.
Yeah. Well, when you were telling the story, there was a point where you could have ended it. But instead you said, oh, I've always wanted to go to Australia. Yep. I've studied the Barrier Reef.
Don't know when to stop. Just going straight off the rails.
Good. I'll fix it.
But I have that bad tendency to, I think I told you that I do that with some of my coworkers. It's like, once I know they're into a certain kind of music or this or that, then anything I know about it or anytime I hear or watch something, I make it a point to go up and tell them.
Yeah.
It's not because I want them to think, oh, she seems pretty cool. It's truly like my way of trying to connect with them. But I guess in some weird way I am like, maybe they'll realize I'm more down with some of this stuff. Oh my God.
That's amazing.
Unreal. Yes.
Well, at least they were nice to you.
No, they were lovely. And then they actually wanted to keep talking. And then my Alan and Mara and I were like, let's go.
Yeah.
But my dad would have happily been like, you guys can go. And he would have sat there with the Aussies. And talk their ears off.
Instead of his family.
Yes.
The picture you sent me of him was so amazing because out of context, it looks super creepy.
Yes.
It's just a picture of a man on a balcony with binoculars. Yes. But I knew that you guys were there and he was looking at the ocean. But out of context, it was just like.
It looks like a voyeur.
Who's that weird pervert looking through binoculars at the beach bodies?
Oh, yes.
I love it that you got to visit them.
I know. Thank you so much for that, Dad. That was an amazing weekend.
Yeah.
They're still here, but I'm working all week, and so is my husband. So we're going to meet them for dinner in the evenings when we can.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's lovely. Mm-hmm. I would like to see. I think I'm going to try and go see my family. My dad's having a big birthday soon.
Nice.
Yeah, if I can figure out my schedule.
Good old Gary Jean.
Gary Jean Powell. I record this podcast and my partner is such a real tyrant about scheduling. I'm just kidding. Those were that's a good corner.
That was a silly corner.
It's a silly corner. I really like it. We've talked before about how we always are raving about kids. Mm-hmm. So we kind of made a corner, which that's what I'm going to do this week is Kids Are Amazing. Did we have a theme song for Kids Are Amazing?
No. Oh, well, it wasn't a theme song. It was just borrowed from Whitney. Go ahead. I believe the children are our future.
Okay, and the article is called, this is from boredpanda.com, which is always a great one if you're looking for good news stories and funny things. It's called 12-Year-Old Kid Makes Shelter Cats and Dogs Stylish Bow Ties to Help Them Find a Home. It's the cutest. We're going to have to post pictures. Let me just read the article before I go off on how I love this so much. We are all familiar with the challenges shelter animals face when finding a forever home. #adopt, don't shop, guys. For some of them, the wait is unbearably long, while others never get to share their life with a loving family. And even though it breaks our hearts, we can witness heroic and in many cases very creative attempts to help abandoned animals get noticed and eventually adopted. Not all heroes wear capes. Some of them wear bow ties. All we need in this world is kindness and compassion, even if it lies in small things. And when young people set an example and invest their time and talent into making the world a better place, you can say what you want, but the faith in millennials is restored right there. Despite his young age, a 12-year-old from New Jersey with a heart of gold, Darius Brown, has taken an initiative to help our furry friends get adopted much faster. He creates handmade. He goes and shop. I have to keep reading, but he goes and shops for the fabric and he sews them. It's amazing. He creates handmade stylish bow ties for 4-legged companions, cats and dogs, and donates them to animal shelters to attract the attention of future owners. Look at this, Jessica.
No, he's so cute.
Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Darius Brown has an inspiring story of fighting against all odds himself, which has definitely influenced his incredibly big heart and determination. At the young age of 2, Darius Brown was diagnosed with speech comprehension and fine motor skills delay, but none of the challenges stopped him from setting and reaching his goal. At the age of 8, he started helping his older sister cut fabric for bows, which also helped develop his fine motor skills. This is when his amazing talent shone through, and he didn't think twice to use the skills and creativity for positive changes in the world. At only 11 years old, Darius Brown founded a pet couture company, Bows and Paws. It's spelled Beaux, specializing in unique and stylish bow ties for people and their furry family members. A young CEO seems to know more about the right ways of running a business better than many of today's entrepreneurs when it comes to giving back. Darius has donated countless bow ties to animal shelters and adoption centers across the U.S. and the United Kingdom, and his endeavors are supported by over 43,000 followers on Instagram.
Amazing.
Look, here he is sewing.
So
a kind-hearted dog lover himself, Darius was inspired to help animals after the devastating consequences of Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma in 2017. Many pets who had been left without homes were transferred to different shelters across the country, and due to a lack of adopters, they often faced euthanasia. Darius was determined to help rescue cats and dogs catch the eye of potential caretakers, and this is exactly what he did. His snazzy accessories have turned thousands of shelter residents into cute and elegant pets ready to go home any minute. When you look at Brown's resume, it's hard to believe he's only 12. His story's been featured in many publications and TV shows, as well as recognized by many public figures, celebrities, and influencers, including Alan Houston, Kenya Moore, Les Brown, and many more. In 2018, former President Barack Obama honored Darius with a letter of recognition in which he commended the young altruist for commitment to community service. From founding Bows and Paws to lifting up the lives of those around you, it's clear you're doing your part to look out for your fellow citizens, and I trust you take tremendous pride in all you have accomplished. As long as you stay engaged in the world around you, continue looking for ways to help others, and never give up on yourself. I'm confident our future will be bright. And then it shows the letter that he sent him. For his efforts and achievements, he's received the Leadership Award from Leaders of the Future No Limits, Outstanding Achievement Award from WDIB Conference, the Youth Changer Award from Excel Honors, and he will be receiving the Jasmina Anima Youth Award from Black Cotton Foundation in July 2019.
Wow.
Without a doubt, many, many more to come if he continues his genuine journey. Brown already speaks at events, encouraging others to volunteer and give back to the community. Darius Brown's sister, Daza, has recently launched a fundraising campaign inviting people to join Darius in his possum mission to save more pets this summer. He set a goal of visiting more than 5 states to volunteer at different shelters and adoption centers, as well as providing them all with his dapper bow ties. He motivates and inspires me every day. He's such an incredible young man, and I will do everything I can to help him on his journey. I'm supporting him in his cause 100%, and I hope you will join me. No donation is too small, says 21-year-old Dazzy. And then there's all these pictures of all these kitties and doggies in their bow ties. I really, really, truly do think that helps them get adopted.
Yeah.
Because it makes them feel happy. It's the same as when I put on a dress. Come on.
It's like a silly little thing.
And it gets them attention, and they love attention, and they look happy and kind, because people get nervous to bring an animal into their home. I just recently brought in that Maine Coon cat, Ollie.
Who's the best.
Oh my God, he's just a doll. He's a rescue.
Like
he went
half
through
human, half
gorilla.
Yeah.
He's crazy lovey. And I was nervous about bringing him in. One, because his poops are the size of a horse. I mean, they're huge. But he taught himself to go outside.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's really crazy. But he's been through 4 homes through no fault of his own. He's such a good cat. He doesn't have accidents. He's not aggressive. My other cats are mean. And he just stares at him like, one day you'll get over it.
Aww.
Yeah. But I really do think that those bow ties probably help a lot of animals find homes.
Totally.
I think it's so cute.
It's really sweet, and I love all of these kids who are wanting to do something to help others. Again, it's very refreshing. Yes, adults do it too, but there's something very pure and kind with a child that's wanting to do that.
Absolutely. It really is altruistic.
They're not doing it to
get anything back
for any ulterior motives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's really sweet. Here I just crap talked teenagers and this little kid's so amazing. I'm a bad person.
I bet he's not splashing anybody at the pool.
He is not. Because honestly, what's the big idea? I love it. Should we go ahead and launch into our raves?
Let's do it.
Raves. This is the good part, guys. This is the happy part.
Indeed. Let's get into our raves.
Yes.
I think you already said that.
But I didn't have that face.
This week's rave is regarding a friend that I grew up with and her nephew. I came to know about him and his story through my friend Tracy, who we've talked about before, and her incredible family, and this sweetest little boy you've ever seen.
He's so cute.
Oh my God. His name is Baker Weatherford, and I'm going to post some pictures of this little cutie because he will steal your heart, as he has done to anyone that has come in contact with him or follows their page, and the tireless efforts of his mother and the other family members and all of the friends around them. She started a group called Keep Baking Baker, and that is how the updates come about with her son. Metachromatic leukodystrophy, otherwise known as MLD, is a rare genetic degenerative neurometabolic disorder. Patients who suffer from this disease progressively over time lose the ability to walk, talk, sit, and swallow. From the words of our doctors, this is a terrible disease, and sadly there is no cure. This disease affects 1 in 40,000, and sadly that number is mostly children. When Baker was born 2 months premature, we already knew we were on a special journey from the start. After noticing some significant delays at 9 months, Baker's dad, Bill, and I went through many different tests to find out what may be causing his delays, only to come up empty-handed. Over the next 6 years, Baker worked very hard at physical, occupational, and speech therapies. We were thrilled when he began crawling at 22 months, and this mama was jumping up and down when Baker took his first steps at 4 years old.
Aww.
Baker was finally becoming more independent. After years of not having answers, we decided to go back to the doctors and ask some more questions and get back to the drawing board at looking for a diagnosis. Because of Baker's small stature, we decided to look into possible growth hormone disorders. And it was during that testing that we discovered MLD for the first time. Baker had no signs or symptoms as of yet, but it was only a matter of time before we would come face to face with this monster disease. It was only after our MLD diagnosis this past year that we discovered Baker's primary diagnosis of Coffin-Lowry syndrome. This disease is equally as rare and equally has no cure. So
do they go in tandem? Do you know?
I am not sure about that. I think I could be wrong. I think this might be a fluke. Ugh. So now we had not one, but 2 rare and terminal diagnoses to learn and understand. Through all of this, one thing has remained, and that is Baker's smile. His little light continues to shine with each breath he takes. Once we learned more about these diseases and learned how to pronounce them, we began to come to grips with our new normal. I didn't know that in a few short months, my son would no longer be walking independently. I didn't realize that I would be feeding my son through a tube so soon. I didn't understand how fast this monster of a disease would take over my sweet son's body. I compare this past year to sliding down the face of a mountain and desperately trying to grab onto anything to help slow down this scary disease. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little choked up here. Sadly, MLD is winning. This disease is marching through my son's body, and it's devastating to watch. To know that things will only get worse is difficult to imagine. We don't know how much time we have, but we do know is that we have another day to see the sunshine. We have another day to appreciate this sweet little soul in our lives and have one more day to make the most of it. We are making each moment count, and we are so thankful for our friends and family who are holding our hands through this scary journey. Keep baking Baker. So that phrase, keep baking Baker, actually came about while she was pregnant, when she had some difficulties in her pregnancy, but they of course had no idea it was going to be any of this. And she had started saying, keep baking Baker, so he would,
My
hopefully
son was
stay in.
2 months early.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 10 weeks early.
And
it's scary. And
as a parent from a preemie,
keep baking, don't come out yet. Yeah.
So that's kind of become their mantra. And there's so many reasons I want to share this. One, there's so many rare genetic diseases, disorders, all these things that most of us have never even heard of, we didn't even know exist.
Yeah.
And they're life-changing, obviously.
Yeah.
when people have to, nobody wants to watch their child suffer.
No.
And like she always says, this is our new normal. Having to readjust and realign
every time something new comes up.
And it happens all the time. This mother that wrote this in, her name is Andrea, is one of the most positive people I've ever seen. The amount of support and people that like and comment on her posts and videos, everyone is so humbled by how she has lifted herself up through this. And she says it's because of the prayers and support of friends and family. She's one of 5 sisters. And when I tell you that they are a force to be reckoned with, constantly, there are things coming up either with Sweet Little Baker or more recently, one of their sisters, this happened with someone in my family too last year, caught a staph infection and almost died from it. They've had so many things that happen, but they all just are, I don't even know the mode to say that they're in. They drop everything. They have friends and neighbors that will take their kids for the night. If one or two of them has to jump in the car and go drive to the other sister. They all luckily live within the same, they're not all in the same state, but close enough that they can get to each other. And they just, it's almost like pinch hitting. I don't even know the right word for it. Or one of them takes the other one's kid so the other can go be to help with the other. It's incredible. And
I don't know this family, but through our show, we've profiled her sister before and different things. Like, I wish I knew them.
Yeah,
they are
love
so
them.
Positive and
so
strong
positive.
And give back so much.
Yes.
When they are just going through it, man. How do they have the time and energy and just heart to give back so much when they are going through so much?
Absolutely.
They're lovely.
And it's so genuine. Yeah. And even in their darkest of times are always thanking those who have reached out. Even again, just someone sending a message saying they were thinking of them or praying for them or whatever it is.
And you know what? That matters.
Yes.
If you know someone that's having a hard time, you don't have to get in their business.
Right.
And you don't have to take anything on. Like, we can't give too much of ourselves away, and take on every problem in the world and everybody else's emotions and things. We have to have some sort of ability for us to keep going as well. But you can send a note or a text or a phone call.
Right.
You can hug somebody and just say, I know it's hard.
Yes.
I may not know exactly what you're going through, but I love you. I care. And right now I'm thinking about you.
Yes.
Good Lord, that's so uplifting.
Absolutely. And they had a lot of people in their community that offered to do things to help the family, like to help offset some of the costs that are incurred because she is a full-time caretaker. I mean, he has a father. She's divorced. She is not with his father, but she is the primary caregiver. A lot of things had to be arranged again for this new normal. And the positivity and her vulnerability for sharing with everyone what she's going through, to me, is so incredibly powerful. Andy, if you are listening, what you do to uplift others in your times of grief and sadness is absolutely remarkable. And I think I know I can speak for anyone that is in your world or follows you from afar, how inspired everyone is by that. And I love your community for having your back. There was a spinning center that had a thing that went all day so you could pledge to ride for Baker. And you signed up, I think it was like either $20 or $30 to sign up, and then people pledged you. And all of the money, the center wasn't taking that money, that went to the family, and then plus whatever you pledged to ride, or, it's like a swim-a-thon, but with biking.
Yeah.
There was recently a 5K walk that was for rare and genetic diseases that friends and family came up from, and people that hadn't seen her in 20 years. One of my friends from high school drove out to see her and be there and to participate. And with her permission, I'm going to ask if I can post some pictures so you guys can also see this
baby. I mean,
he's the cutest.
He literally is pure sunshine. Every single picture, he is smiling so big. He has these glasses that
his blue glasses
just kill me. He is literally a living doll.
Yeah.
Just happiness.
Yes.
Like, I got annoyed at teenagers at a pool when I was supposed to be having a good time. This poor child is fighting for his life.
Yeah.
And he's just pure sunshine.
Yeah.
Shame on me.
No, totally. He really is. And I also love that every single day, whether something bad and unexpected comes up or the tiniest triumph, because to me, especially when dealing with things like this, there is no small triumph, right? If it's whether his food stayed down, you know, anything like that, she rejoices that I'm totally losing my train of thought here because my mind goes everywhere when I think of them. It's just incredible. And I send you love and strength. We both do.
Yes.
And with her permission, I want to post some pictures. And about 6 months ago, the Make-A-Wish Foundation granted a wish to Baker, and they were able to go down to Disney for a very special week. And I think that was amazing. And most of their family was able to be there. And every day, this is what I was getting at. Every time that she posts something, she puts hashtag not today MLD. It's like every day we've made it through another day.
Yes.
We're going to keep going. And
not today.
She doesn't let anything stop her.
I love them.
Yeah.
My heart literally aches for her because I cannot fathom.
Right.
And yet that family, they just give back and give back and give back in so many ways.
They're walking the walk. Like, that's what I'm saying. They are like the true meaning of being a good person and trying to do better and set good examples and being kind to your neighbor.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
And shout out to their community and the people who are surrounding and supporting them. It really does take a village.
Totally.
And she's lucky she has family, but it's also friends.
Yes.
You know, I live away from my family, so I know how lucky I am when my friends rally around me.
Totally.
And people may not realize what a huge impact that can have. So shout out to their community and their friends and loved ones too, because that's probably part of the fuel that keeps them able to just keep your head above water.
Right.
You know, that's got to be so overwhelming, but it's so lovely that so many people step up and really support.
Yeah. And they did do a couple of rounds of T-shirts that say Team Baker, and somebody made an awesome silhouette. It's Baker's little cute blonde hair and his turquoise glasses. Aww. But people from not just, again, their town, they're in North Carolina, people all over have been ordering the shirts. And just yesterday, I saw somebody post, she was in another state entirely, and she said, I was in a gas station. I was wearing my Team Baker shirt, and the person there said, are you from North Carolina? And she said, yeah. And the woman knew of him.
Oh,
and it was just amazing. Like,
he's connecting people and he doesn't even realize.
Exactly. It's really incredible. There's not like a website or link, but if I have a way, and if they do another round of shirts, and there's a way for me to post
shirts.
of that.
I literally just wrote down Team Baker t-shirt. We have
They're adorable.
Shirts.
Yeah. Then I'm going to find out a way that we can link to that, or you guys can contact us and we'll figure it out. But the t-shirts were made also, again, to help them with this 24-hour care and so many things that none of us would hopefully ever have to encounter. And, you know, another one of her things is to get the word out for other people.
Absolutely.
And to fight for research and to fight for this disease, which as of this time has no cure.
Wow.
And she doesn't want other people to have to go through that with their child.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Baker.
We love you. Big shout out to the entire Terrell family and
absolutely
everyone.
I don't know you, and I love you all.
Yeah.
I mean, I follow them on social media through our podcast and stuff, and because we've profiled some of the things their family has done before, and I just love them.
Yeah.
We love you.
And we love you guys, and a big hug and a kiss to sweet little Bakey.
Oh, Baker, he's such a doll.
The cutest.
Okay, so I'm going to move into my rave, and it's organization attached, but I've been wanting to rave about them or put them at the end of the show sometimes when I say things that make me smile or happy, like cats with their mouths open or whatever. But I just finally, so backstory is my friend Eric Stonestreet sent me a video of this. I guess you'd call them a band, right? A music singing group.
Right.
They're all very talented musicians. They play instruments. I don't even know what they are.
Right.
Jessica, so I go down a hole with them so many times watching all their videos and stuff. They have the most enormous kalimba I've ever seen.
Ooh,
you know, my little dong, 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 dong thing that I don't know how to play. They have one that's like the size of my body.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. Anyway, they have all these huge instruments, different instruments. They also make their own instruments out of PVC pipe and stuff. And they're very popular for cover songs, but they make them their own. And then sometimes they do mashups. They also do their own music. They're very popular. They're from Canada. And I believe one of the guys is from Australia. I'm not positive. But anyway, there's a group of them. I love them. Their music just makes me happy. They're so incredible to watch. Yeah. Their videos are funny and fun and just wonderful. One of the members of the band, Walk Off the Earth, suddenly passed away on December 30th. And it was very unexpected. I'm not even sure what happened, if it was like an aneurysm or something. I'm not positive. I try not to dive into stuff like that because it's not going to make me feel better. But anyway, it was a huge loss to them. So they wrote a song for him called Mike's Song, because his name was Mike, the bearded guy. And it is the most beautiful. I didn't want to watch it for a long time because I knew it was going to make me cry. And it did. But it was also made me happy and wonderful, because they say one of the things about Mike, the bearded guy, is that he worked his entire life to try and give music to children who couldn't afford it. Like musical instruments. So they wrote this song that's so beautiful. I'm going to play like a little sample of it if you don't care. On December 30th, 2018, our beloved Mike Beard Guy Taylor suddenly passed away. Beard Guy was an incredibly generous person. He was especially passionate about giving young people the option for music. To honor Mike's legacy and to help spread his message, we made this video.
Hi, Kaden. I use music to express myself, and I am a cancer survivor.
Quincy has autism. His therapists have noticed his love for piano, and they said that we should try and get one for him, but our family can't really afford that.
Love is like the wind, you know. Where it blows, your heart will follow through miles and miles of open road. The one you choose can take you home. So goodbye, dry your eyes, it'll be fine. God only knows that I get back on you. It's all I can do.
Caleb wanted to play piano so badly. He had drawn out a paper keyboard.
I am a single mom saving for a keyboard for my little girl, Lily.
My name is Brayden. I'm 8 years old. My granddad plays guitar, and I want to make it on the radio like him.
I know you'll always be with me, but I can't shake the heartache. Even if the day don't break, it's gonna be okay.
So if you get a chance, we'll put a link to this video. The entire video is of them buying musical instruments and delivering them to children in need. The organization is called musiccounts.ca/beardguy. And they collect donations to buy musical instruments for children who can't afford them, to keep his legacy living on.
It's such a beautiful way to honor someone.
It's so amazing. In the video, it gives me goosebumps. These children are jumping up and down when they receive their instruments, you know. It's just incredible. Anyway, if you get a chance to look, guys, it's so uplifting. It's so inspiring. Music, like love, is a universal language. Yeah. It's so powerful, even for those who, and sometimes even more powerfully for those who cannot communicate as well.
Absolutely.
So I love that they set up this foundation in Mike the Beard Guy's name. It's such a tragic loss to the music community, but inspired this wonderful organization. So it's really beautiful. Anyway, I feel like our raves were so sad this week, but they're so wonderful to see how people are giving back and supporting, and it just gives me hope. I'm one of these people that at least once a week I say, oh my God, I hate people. And probably I'm one of the people I should hate.
No.
But I don't mean it. Like, yeah, the world can be full of turmoil, but our spirit is huge.
And we know just from what we see in everyday life, but from finding things as we do this podcast.
This podcast is so powerful for me.
Incredible things. Again, like no act is too small. From a kid doing something from, I think our first episode, the kid who started a coat rack.
Yes.
For the homeless to...
Recently we profiled 4Ocean.
Yep.
I have seen it all over Instagram this week. Not advertisements, people posting and sharing, and it just makes me so happy.
My dad got all excited because he goes, "What? Of course I know them because they're based in Florida."
Oh, cool.
And that's where my dad lives, and he couldn't believe it.
I'm telling you, people, I know we say this all the time. We can't give money to everything, we get it, but word of mouth is so powerful. You have no idea. Like the things that we have learned just through doing this podcast, and it's all mostly word of mouth.
Absolutely.
People telling us things. It makes a difference. It really, really does.
And sometimes someone will see something that strikes a chord with them, right?
Yep. Inspires them.
I love when I see things, again, one of the good things about social media, where whether it's an article or an organization or something, I'm like, I never heard of this, or I didn't know this even existed. I didn't even know this was available, and it's incredible.
Or it just reminds you to do something that you have been meaning to and didn't.
Yes.
Shout out to my friend Kat. She made a post on Instagram this week about ways that she's trying to help with sustainable products, but you know, her own consumption and footprint. And I was like, oh yeah. And right that second, it reminded me, she bought bamboo toilet paper. I haven't gotten there yet because we go through a lot of toilet paper in my house. A lot of nose blowing, a lot of everything. But anyway, I was like, oh right. And I went and I bought my bamboo straws finally. I do have stainless steel ones, but I gotta say, I think bamboo are my favorite. And my bamboo paper towels, which by the way, are so thick.
They're amazing.
They're incredible. So anyway, that was just from her making a post. And that's my long-winded way of saying your voice makes a difference.
Absolutely.
You may think that you're just one person saying, hey, my friend's got this GoFundMe. They really need help. No, it's powerful. Yep. It matters, you guys. It really matters. Oh, man.
I think we might need one more breath.
I think I need a cleansing breath because now I just want to cry.
I know.
But it's not like sad tears. I just love the beauty of our people.
I know.
Okay, let's breathe.
Okay.
Don't scream this time though, guys. Just kidding. Okay. Jessica.
Dana.
I think that's our show.
I think it is.
Should I tell people how they can contact us?
Yes.
Because everybody, please, we're not joking. If you've never written into a show before because you don't have time for it, if you come across something or someone that needs to be shouted out, we will do it for you. We'll do the work. Just tell us.
Yes.
We want to so bad, okay? You guys can find us on Instagram and Facebook. Jeez, Lou, I can't stop crying. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at the Rants and Raves Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at raves_the.
Up to 24 followers.
Shut up.
Yes.
Fame. I'm gonna live forever. Goes against everything I just said. You can also find us on our website, therantsandravespodcast.com, or you can email us at therantsandravespodcast@gmail.com.
Correct.
Seriously, send us your stories, send us your good stuff. Also, send us the things you want to rant about. We're gonna
or other songs you want to hear us sing.
Oh my God, what's wrong with us?
From shows like Fame, Hot Lunch Jam, macaroni and bologna, tuna fish, my favorite dish.
I cannot handle your duck flapping arms you just did. We love you guys so much.
We do.
We'll be back next week. Hey, Jessica, real quick.
Yes.
Weekly point to ponder. Swimsuits?
Nope.
Shouldn't jackets be an option?
Absolutely.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.